tonight. Hey, Billy. Can you...
You are listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
Pass me the lampshade, I'm drunk again. Blew my drug money on a quart of gin. Well, I am a cultured man with tastes discriminating, but I'll settle for a tall glass of anything. Well, am I the only one drinking tonight? The only one drinking tonight. The only one drinking tonight. The only one drinking tonight. Well, am I the only one drinking tonight? The only one drinking tonight.
And welcome to the Doug Stanhope Podcast. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here. What time is it there? Later, because this doesn't go up till Monday. I do my Monday morning podcast whenever I fucking feel like it. This is the Monday morning podcast for later in the year. For Christmas. This is the Christmas in July podcast in May. All right, how do we start? I have so many things, and you just said something, and I go, all right, I'll start with that, and it's gone. I'm drinking a Sherry's Berry, hoping to speed the alcohol and fat into my system. It's the Purple Mud Bunyan. That's the drink. Myers Dark Rum, Godiva White Chocolate, and a little bit of blackberry brandy. All liquor, all girly. But the Purple Mud Bunyan, named after Chad Shank, I thought maybe it could conjure his spirits to get his ass over here again. You know what? I don't call him to come over.
Yeah, that would probably aid in getting him over here quicker.
Yeah, I let Bingo call him. He's a sucker for Bingo's a soft touch. If he's crazy, I'll still take Bingo's calls. But Bingo's not here, so yeah. So much for my conjuring.
Well, maybe the Purple Mud Bunyan will work.
Maybe it will. It'll work for me.
He quickly snaps his head when he hears the bottle cap on the Godiva chocolate open.
Mm-hmm. It should be with crushed ice. It should be, almost like a slushy, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Hey, speaking of conjuring, this happened, and a lot of you guys tweeted me about this story, and I ignored it. I did retweet one thing about it, but I didn't even read it. I retweeted in the blind. Atheist blogger sued by faith healer. So it wasn't until the 19th person that sent it that I realized that fucking faith healer guy lives here in Bisbee, allegedly. He filed suit, some blogger, some transgendered blogger. Doesn't matter that they're transgendered, but you know what? If I have a fat friend, I say, yeah, you know my fat friend Ron. Well, you don't have to say fat. You don't have to say he's black. I don't have to say she's transgendered, but it came up in the story. So, yeah, she just randomly debunked this guy as being a complete fucking fraud.
And what does he do?
He's a healer. He's a former ice skater, and he had a near-death experience with pneumonia. According to his website that is now pulled down, you can't find any trace of Adam Miller Healer.
So he'll lay hands on you, like they say, to heal you, or
he goes into a lot of the dynamics without saying anything of he's not a psychic or a this or that, but because when he had his near-death experience and he was dead for 4.5 minutes on the table, he went, he met with the Buddha and Jesus and all the fucking great things. Fallacies, all the great fallacies came to meet him in his dead state, and now he can guide you through any illness and he can heal you. But it's not free, because it's a special gift. If his website is down, but when you went through it, I do charge for this because it is a special gift. Well, it's a special gift. I don't see why that's worth money. Like, why, if you can do this, he can do it over the phone. The one of his pictures on his website was him like the Time Life operator with a headset and in a suit and tie and saying, I can do it over the phone. Why wouldn't you just do it for everyone? Why would you even ask him? We had a story like this. Oh, I think I was busting Colleen's balls about the fucking Reiki. And I was like,
a friend of ours.
Yeah. You can give Reiki as healing Reiki. Why would you even ask? Why would you tell someone you're doing Reiki on them? If they, like, someone you know has gout or a tumor or a fucking wandering eye, why wouldn't you just throw some Reiki at them all subtly?
Fix it.
Yeah, without getting any kind of fucking adulation. Much less, she wasn't charging. This guy was charging. So he had some video out describing his fucking voodoo. And so this blogger, and she's credentialed. She works for the Richard Dawkins Foundation in some capacity. And she puts out these blogs. And so she cut up his promotional video on YouTube and then just debunked it. Like, plays up to a point and then cut. Wait, you're not a medical professional. Stop saying you're a medical professional or a healthcare professional. And so he evidently sued her for defamation, libel, saying that because she said it's bullshit somehow, and copyright infringement for using the video in her video, which is fair use. It's a complete frivolous bullshit lawsuit.
It seems like the only one that could stand would be the one where she used his video without his permission. But like you said, there's fair use in that too.
Yeah, there's fair use, but
of the three, that is the only one that has any legs.
And then I'm assuming the videos are still out. If you just Google news search Adam Miller healer, news search it, I'm sure you'll find the articles that were written about it. The problem is, a frivolous lawsuit will still fuck you. A guy sued me for defamation or libel, 10 years ago for like calling him a crackhead in some story I wrote on my website. Just offhandedly, this fucking crackhead. But if you're saying they did something illegal, that's grounds. But the problem is, I wrote that story like 6 years before I got the Man Show, and he smelled money and went, I don't know, I'll sue you.
Now's the time.
And it was complete bullshit. It never fucking got to court. It was dismissed out of court, and it still cost me $10,000. So, the blogger, I can't remember your fucking name, I'm sorry, but it's in the stories. Yeah, she has a GoFundMe page. Last I checked, she raised $17,000, which should be more than fucking adequate to defend that. She's got a good First Amendment attorney who's well respected. Penn Jillette and all the atheists jumped on board. And no one in Bisbee has ever heard of this fucking guy.
The guy who says he's from Bisbee.
Yeah, a friend of mine posted it on a couple of the Bisbee community groups. Bisbee people, Bisbee community, on Facebook groups.
Bisbee, a town of...
But everyone on those fucking groups are these just fucking psycho nitwits.
What's the population here?
5,500.
Yeah, so a town of 5,500... Someone has got to be clipping his lawn.
Yeah, he was claiming I've healed over 50,000 people or some fucking huge number. I've done this for 36 years, but there's nowhere on the internet can you find any reference of him being in Bisbee except the lawsuit. That is, there's a copy of the lawsuit that she was served with, the blogger, that said that he lives in Bisbee, but it didn't even list Bisbee as a venue to go to trial. So I don't know. Everyone on the Bisbee forums are saying, "Oh, this is a con. It's a big con." Like as though that guy doesn't exist, and he made all these entire videos and website, and then she's gonna play the one.
It's a con where the two of them are working together,
and two fucking high dollar, respected lawyers on both sides. Yeah, just to get the fucking GoFundMe money. And I'm like, all right, I can't even be on these sites because I would just start talking shit to you fucking morons. The last thing I need is access to a Facebook page of locals that are fucking 70% fucking absolute nitwits, and then start talking shit about him when I'm drunk, and then see him in Safeway the next day, jockeying and jostling for position at the 50% meat section. So yeah, I did my best for you there. I talked to the lawyer guy, and I tried to everything to every feeler. One girl on one of the Facebook sites said, "Yeah, I babysat for him last year. He moved here last summer. At some point, he had said he lived on a 55-acre ranch. When you looked at the video on his website, and he had a few photos of where he lived and video, and you go, that's absolutely Bisbee. Just the interior of his house, you know it's Bisbee. Fucking bright colors. There's no question.
Yeah.
It's a very unique style to every part of this town.
A door that's not squared.
But she said she babysat for him, but he never talked about what he did other than he moved here to do it. And then she said, I think they got bored and moved back to California. So for a minute, I thought, hey, we got a fucking dildo right here in his town. Like I thought about I'll find out where he lives. Someone's going to know him. And I'll just go stake a big scarlet letter sign at the end of his driveway in the fucking dirt that just says fraud written in blood-looking letters. Fraud!
We got a place
I
to
know
put
what you did last summer.
We got a place to put all of Floyd's full colostomy bags.
But on the tails of that, I thought the story never got a lot of legs. But on the tails of it, we finally put up that Last Supper couch that Chaille's been talking about putting on Craigslist since we talked about it months ago.
First week of Tin Can Rehab.
Yeah, we were talking about putting that on Craigslist rather than just leave it by the fucking dumpster. Someone brought a fucking Last Supper couch. It's like a black velvet Elvis, but it's a couch of the Last Supper with Last Supper pillows. And
sit on Jesus's face.
Yeah, so I thought, hey, this is a great time to put it on Craigslist. So I put it
topical.
Yeah, as Last Supper couch, mystical healing powers. I'm a faith healer, and I have to get out of town in a hurry. So if you want to find that on Craigslist, you go to Sierra Vista. That's our closest metropolis. Sierra Vista Craigslist, and just type in Bisbee in the search engine, or just type in
mystical
Last Supper couch.
Yep.
And we've only got one response. But do you have can you read that?
Yeah.
It says I've been a healer for 36 years, oddly the same amount of time.
Wait, what did you want me to read?
No, the ad. What we put in the ad.
Oh, I gotta find it. I have the email that we got from someone.
All right.
You want that?
No. Well, that's what we're getting to.
All right. Hold on, let me find it.
It says basically, I can run through it. I'm a healer. I have to leave town in a hurry. I'm sadly having to sell one of my healing couches. You can tell by the fade and wear how many people have been cured by this miracle lounge. Skeptics will be dealt with litigiously. Thank you. Skepticism will be met with litigation.
Yeah.
No suckers.
And believers will
be
rewarded or something.
Rewarded. Yeah. No suckers.
No suckers.
Professional true practitioners only something. Anyway, we put it up and we waited and we only got one response asking what can you describe the mystical powers?
Yeah, what mystical powers?
Yeah, go ahead, read that. I guess So we wrote back. So we wrote back.
Stopped it because you told me not to.
Yet another dildo emailed me going, hey, I live in Arizona from somewhere else, and hire me. I can do anything. Like, yeah, one of the many people who think there's a lot to do in this business. But then you go, hey, Chaille doesn't have that thing ready. Maybe I can get that dude. Go ahead. What did we write back to the couch
Can
people?
you tell me more about the couch? What kind of mystical powers does it have? And we wrote back, Laying on it to meditate can cause a drowsy feeling that can lead to a REM state and can induce powerful visions. The interpretations of these visions depend on the strength of the faith of the user.
And no one wants to hear them unless they were in them. Yeah, so, yeah.
I think the price might be scaring people off.
Maybe we should have put up a picture of just a plain couch and just say that the vision of the Last Supper appeared on it on its own.
This is how it started.
I would love to perpetrate a massive fraud like that. I talk too much. Like they'd come over and go, I'm just fucking with you. Because we're right on the border of Mexico where they take that Jesus shit real serious, and they do. Like, all of a sudden you are the fucking Adam Miller healer guy that's, yeah, all right, this Mexican couple just showed up and she has lumps of cancer hanging off her fucking neck. And they couldn't shell out the money fast enough. And you're like, all right, the joke's not there anymore. You want an idiot, but you don't want to prey on the weak.
How great would that be? If
Why is it
someone
okay
showed up-
to prey on idiots, by the way? Like, that's bad, too. That should be bad. Just because someone's mildly dumb and not even retarded. Is it okay at what point?
So if someone came up here with, $500 in hand and they totally believed that it was a mystical couch, you wouldn't sell it to them?
Depends.
On what?
Personalities. Like, if it were like one of these douchebag chakra healers that invade every hippie town. And I know this is going to help me send Reiki in a more... What? No. Okay, yeah.
I asked the universe for some kind of Barca lounger, and here we are. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll do
but
it.
You don't want to prey on the weak. Like someone whose last hope is, they ran the healer out of town. Maybe I can fucking drop a fucking half a K on a Last Supper couch. That's all I got. Yeah. But another side of the coin, why is it okay to fuck with smart people? Why is it okay to take advantage of them? I've always got caught up in that. Especially the UK, where I'd get reviews, this bit was a little weak because, hey, you're picking on, they hate it when you pick on retards. You say retard or anything retarded, they go fucking apeshit.
Do they call them retards over there?
No, they fucking,
what's the local term?
I have probably developmentally disabled but anytime you pick on the weak, like, why is it okay to fuck with, well-abled people? Did they not have feelings? You can fuck with lawyers all day long. Hey, there's lawyers out there that are really busting their balls. Hey, how about the fucking Innocence Project, you cunt? Those are fucking lawyers and law students that are just pro bonoing their time to get people out of prison that are wrongly accused. And you can make lawyer jokes all day long. What's a fucking retard done for you lately? He ever get you out of prison? I'm saying there should be a balance. I say fuck with everybody. But don't act like some people are fucking sacred cow. He slays sacred cows. Who's a more sacred cow than a fucking retard? Jesus. Oh, fuck, he's here?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to take a break. I was getting on a roll there. It's probably, the fucking, take a pause this podcast. We'll do a commercial, and you take a shit and ponder what really is a sacred cow. And should they be fucked with? Because I'm going to think about that till I finish this drink and I forgot that I even thought of it. Fuck you, we'll be right back.
Hey, Ogden, Utah, are you hungry for pizza? Pizza! Then you better run your ass down to Pizza Runners, 3017 Harrison Boulevard, right here in North Ogden. Run your motherfucking ass down. We have the best pizza. We have vegetarian pizza.
Vegetarian pizza!
Pepperoni pizza. Pepperoni! We have every kind of pizza your mother ever warned you about.
She warned you. She did warn you.
We're open every fucking night at Pizza Runners in North Ogden. If you don't want pizza, you're a fucking pussy.
Fucking pussy!
Why don't you have a meatball grinder? Ask Juanita. She makes them by her fucking self.
She's the hot one.
Kirsten would recommend the jalapeno jalapeno cheese sticks. But what does she know? You want a fucking pizza! It's Saturday night. Let's get out there. Give us a call right now at 801-394-4265.
801-394-4265!
And don't even try blocking your fucking number, because we're gonna know that you're a 13-year-old kid ordering these to the neighbor's house, you motherfucker.
I know where you live.
Pizza Runner 3017 Harrison Boulevard, North Ogden, waiting for your call now.
We're family friendly.
All right, we have a surprise guest. Just someone who tweeted me that said, hey, we're coming from Tucson to Bisbee. He's some traveling comedian who is traveling from Fresno to Brooklyn, New York, which is a lateral move at best. Actually, I'd fucking live in Fresno, and that's one of the biggest piece of shit towns ever.
I don't mind Fresno.
Well, yeah, it's just it's dismal, it's bleak. So
But we don't have to stay there. That's why.
yeah, but he said, hey, we're coming to Bisbee. Do we want to see a killer termites game or just buy you a drink? And since I didn't really want to write the fucking book, that was a great out. So he's just walking in and now realizing he's on a podcast. Ben Kaplan, there's a couple of beers for you and your buddy. I don't know what you drink. What do you normally drink?
Anything.
Talking to the mic.
Thanks, man.
Which one's Ben?
Wait, oh, you're Ben.
This is Ben.
That's
Okay,
what I
Ben, you
thought.
stand over here.
Okay.
You just sit and drink, sir.
Perfect. Hey, how's it going?
Good. Cheers. You
Right
fucking gacked up from a long drive?
Not really, just a little bit, but I was afraid of all the border patrol.
Oh, it's not coming in that's the problem. It's getting out. We'll school you on you. I hope you don't have drugs, because we hope you do have drugs, because if you do,
You made it. Safe.
A little,
yeah, by getting out, you're gonna be stopped.
like hardcore?
Yeah, they have dogs. If you have shit that smells, they'll smell it.
Okay.
We'll talk. We'll
right.
talk about that.
That's a
afterwards.
yes.
Logistics.
Okay.
But you have a fucking giant hand-painted blue RV. What year is that?
It's a 91 Fleetwood Tioga.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, really
I
nice.
hope.
I like the Tiogas.
How many miles?
It's 78 when we started. I guess we're probably almost to 79 now.
Yeah, you're not worried about breaking down. I just
Oh,
sold
whoa. That's
78,000.
Yeah.
On a fucking RV.
You see him on not to talk shit, but when our friend is looking at one, and that's the sweet spot between 70 and 90,000.
That's that's a sweet spot for a fucking Dodge Omni.
Just telling you. He's talked to guys that repair these things.
All right.
It's Durant. He's looking.
I would say you're fine.
I think you're fine.
We just sold
You're
the
good.
Cadillac, and I was so worried that thing was going to break down on whatever poor fuck bought it. Because I'm just my own paranoia about old shit. Because it was a 1970 with God knows how many miles on it. The fucking odometer stopped working at some point, I'm sure.
Before you got it, yeah.
And he did break down once. There was a fire. He flew down. It wasn't a fan. It was just a dude. And he flew down from Colorado, and it was very cool. And he hung out for a while and had cocktails, and then started driving in the middle of the night, which I would never do. And got to New Mexico, and just some weird thing like what was it, Derek? The air conditioner motor. Okay, Derek says he tried to put the heat on like a fool, and it caught the engine on fire. But he had a half a bottle of Gatorade, the only liquids he had in the car, to put it out, and then made it fine all the way back to Denver. So yeah, now he says it's running well. I'm almost pissed off that it's running so well. He goes, oh yeah, it's just a tweak, and I got the fucking motor for the roof to work, which was the biggest pet peeve of that piece of
Was
shit.
that it wouldn't go
if
up
it
without
had
three people?
Yeah, one guy inside to push the button, and then one on each side outside to
guide
help
it,
it up.
yeah.
Yeah, it's working fine. One of the fucking local cops, fucking Yanis, said, I would have bought that. I didn't know it was for sale. Shit.
Turns out it was missing a cotter pin. 3 cents.
I would have been way more nervous to sell a local cop a car. I didn't know if it's a piece of shit or not. They actually stopped Bingo at a stop sign just to ask her about the car, which fucking throws you in a panic. Yeah. I don't care if you know the cop. I don't care if you fucking high-five him at Safeway. Someone fucking flags you down on the road. I'm in trouble. Hey, what year is that? Probably should have sold it to the cop. Now that I know it's a fucking good car. So anyway, back to you. Ben Kaplan, you say your Twitter says you don't fucking use Twitter. You have like 68 total tweets.
Not often. Usually it's just like if it's like a marketing thing or something, you have to something like this or something like that. But I don't.
Fucking works great for shit like this.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
How I fucking ended up day drinking with Roseanne Barr, Twitter. But yeah, it said you're a traveling comedian going from Fresno to Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh wow! Thank you. Wow, the hospitality here is insane. Yeah, we're
all right. I'll cover time. Don't worry. You smoke. I'll cover time until you exhale audibly. I hope that's your own stash you're getting rid of. You don't want to smoke local when you're gonna have to dump your own. There you go. That's quite an undertaking. I'm gonna guess that you've been doing comedy for less than 6 months.
That is accurate.
All right. And you thought now is your time to make your fucking big break to the Big Apple.
I guess I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Philly. So it's sort of going home also. It's not just like crazy moving out to the East Coast. It's kind of moving home. But right. Yeah, I guess that's the idea. I don't know what to expect.
So, but you were in Fresno just migrant farming?
Yeah, and cooking meth, scrapping metal. No, I actually, I was a tow truck driver. Actually,
but
which is
why,
worse.
Why did you end up in Fresno from Philly? Chick?
No, I went to Arizona State initially for college, then out to the East Coast for rehab, then over to Utah because I ran out of money, and then I
have beers laid out for these guys, and they're immediately fucking. Oh yeah, I was in rehab, and now I'm smoking pot and drinking beer on your podcast without even shaking hands.
It's in the past. It's in the past. Got out to, was in Utah and, ended up moving back in with parents, kind of giving them the finger and growing weed in Utah for a little bit and, got really scared.
I didn't even think weed could grow in Utah dirt.
Inside, real undercover
Still, you'd think
operation.
The whole atmosphere would just kill plants.
It was actually not too bad because it wasn't too hot, but
I know I meant the actual
the culture.
Is it ethereal? Is that the right word? The fucking just the bad vibes of Utah.
I don't know about ethereal, but bad vibes.
Ephemeral?
Works.
I don't know. Why am I ephemeral? Why am I trying to use fucking bad words? It's Saturday. Bad words.
Big words.
All right, Utah.
Jesus,
you're doing great at it.
Ran out of money again in Utah and had my brother in Fresno kind of took me in and gave me a job and started working towing cars and lived in a tow truck shop for like 2 years and finally saved up enough money to get the fuck out of Fresno.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're going to where it's the fucking most expensive part of the world.
Yeah.
I hope you saved a lot of tow truck money. You're the tow truck driver that steals change, that's for sure, because to even make money in Fresno that you can bring you to New York City.
They expect you to clean out the ashtray. It's like a tip.
I was unfortunately I was the guy who steals your car at night.
Repo?
No, not quite repo, but close. Like, we would,
really stealing.
More or less. I mean, it was mostly private property. It was private property. If you parked in someone else's stall, that kind of thing, fire lanes, handicap, things of that nature, get called out there.
You're like a predator.
You'll feel like a fraud your whole comedy career, but never that bad.
You'll
never have to turn back. You could steal jokes blatantly. You could just email comics and go, listen, you know that great album you just put out? I'm stealing it verbatim. And still feel like a better person than a fucking tow truck driver.
It got to be that way, yeah. Where you sort of just
there's good cops, there are a few really cool cops, and they get ruined because they're in the minority. And tow truck drivers, there is that guy you need when next gas 60 miles and you have to walk to a box, and he helps you.
Yeah,
but no one will ever look at a tow truck driver and go, he's saving people on long stretches of lonely highway. No, you fucking took my shit because I didn't notice the obscured sign.
If you want to make any amount of money, yeah, pretty much.
How old are you?
23.
I should have guessed. I guessed.
Can we go back to how you guessed the 6 months?
Well, the amount of tweets, the fact that he says traveling comedian making that's his bio on Twitter. traveling comedian making a trip from Fresno to Brooklyn. Like that's all he's done with his life. Like mine says drunk comic obsolete. Like that sums it up. I've done a lot.
You've been to the ringer.
His whatever you call it, profile caption on Twitter is a tweet. That's what he's doing today.
His description of himself.
Yeah, that's what
is
he's
less
doing
than
the next
140
few days.
Yeah.
When did you start the trip?
What was it? It was supposed to be May 1st. It was really hard getting out of town. Everything was we lost keys. It was just difficult. And ended up being I think May 5th, I want to say. Out of Fresno, went down to Big Sur. Kind of just to
take the one?
Yeah, took it the whole way. And from Monterey and,
You're a fucking asshole. No, I'm saying this for so many people that were stuck behind that RV on the one on 15-mile-an-hour turns that you had to do at 8.
And that was our first time driving it too. So everything's falling out of the cupboards because we don't have it all battened down the proper way yet because we're still learning. And so
not to mention it's a beautiful trip on the coast. So both of you are kind of trying to watch the road and the scenery
and
at
the
same
pipe.
time.
Yeah. And you want to look and then you
shit,
realize
all our dishes broke. No, as long as it wasn't
That's
the pipe.
cool. That's
cool. So camped out in Big Sur for a night, sort of just to get
awesome.
the thing, right, start off right.
And L.A. You went to L.A.
Went to L.A. afterwards.
I looked at one of his 68 tweets. Fuck.
Is that when he started
I'm
comedy?
I do suss people out when they say, "Can I stop by for a drink?" I do some due diligence.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that he mentioned and hashtagged the killer termites means he listens to the podcast.
Sure.
And he took a picture of the Bad News Bears field. There's an actual field with a sign in L.A. The Bad News Bears field. I assume they filmed it there or something.
I don't know. I don't know if it was just dedicated or just, I'm not sure. But we were parked right. It's right down off the 405 on Santa Monica, and that's pretty much where we were parked. There's an industrial complex where
that checks
homeless
out.
live.
That sounds about right. Buttermaker, Kelly.
Oh, you parked where the homeless hang out just to rub it in their face that you have this beautiful RV.
I realize it seems that way, but yeah, that's one of the only places where we're welcome. But yeah, they do probably see it as gentrification of some sort.
If it was,
There goes the neighborhood.
If it was Burning Man, yeah, they'd frown on you too for having an RV. Come on, man.
They run on corn oil or what?
Go down with a multi-box structure to Skid Row, like a 2-story cardboard box structure.
Couple of refrigerator boxes hobbled together.
Yeah, like you made snow forts back east.
Yeah.
So the beginning of May now, it's May 16th. How long are you planning on taking on this trip?
We are planning on rolling into Philly. Philly's, gonna stay there for a couple of weeks, to hang out, see some friends. That's going to be July 1st. His girlfriend, who's moving to New York with us.
What's your buddy's name?
This is Derek.
Derek, are you a comic as well? Yeah. All right, so you're making the move together. It's good to go buddy system like me and Becker.
So, yeah, and his girlfriend's moving out once we get there.
That's not going to fucking last. Stop it.
Someone's got to have a job. These two. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well played.
Have her wire money ahead. Cause,
Turns out we need 2 security deposits.
Might be a little more depressing in New York or spendy, but yeah, your pussy options versus Fresno. Yeah, that's not going to last. What's she doing up in Fresno right now?
She cuts hair.
Cuts hair.
Oh, good. That's good skill.
Yep. Have her forward you money. Say, honey, we're not quite ready for you yet.
Whew, this is way more expensive than we thought.
A lot of people are making me deals, but I got to hire a agent and a lawyer because it's all coming down. But we just need a few more dollars. Oh Jesus! So when did you say you're getting there?
Get there July 1st or so.
July. Jeez, you're taking your time.
Well, how many miles can you log a day in the Tioga?
Well, we're taking it pretty slow. I mean, we hung out in Tucson for a day, so that's and.
But if you drove the max that you guys want to drive a day, how many miles?
Oh, we could probably be there in 5 days if we wanted to. But we're taking going straight across is kind of the boring route.
I mean, they're in Bisbee from Fresno. They're obviously not taking the direct route.
My mom's in San Diego, went to visit her, and then just taking the whole southern route. I've never seen the South really. So Texas, El Paso's next, Austin, over to Baton Rouge and New Orleans, up Mississippi to Jackson, and over to Memphis, Nashville, and going to Bonnaroo on the 15th of June. Gonna try that out, have some fun, hopefully. Then it's, down to Florida, Miami, because that's where my dad lives, doing the whole loop around Florida, and then up the East Coast to Philly, and then hopefully we want to scout it out and hang out at my grandma's house in down the shore, and kind of scout out the city, see where we want to go, and hopefully be there August 1st.
And then start doing comedy.
Yeah.
Do you know any New York comics?
No.
What did you do? Like Fresno can't have a scene.
There's a scene. It's fun.
Yeah?
There's a whole downtown area that got built up a couple years ago.
Yeah.
with
I did a
clubs.
show there with Louis Black opening for him. That's how I found Panamint Springs, taking the back roads to go do those Bakersfield, Fresno gigs with Louis Black. And it was a Sunday, and there's nothing more fucking dead. If you wanted to film there on a Sunday, like Walking Dead, you wouldn't have to get permits. There's that few people in downtown Fresno. It's fucking scary. It's eerie. So, but you had open mic?
Yeah. There's we got probably an open. At the best of times, we had an open mic probably every day of the week, and then sometimes it's down to
in Fresno.
Yeah. And there's a couple where we have two. Yeah, there's music, comedy, anywhere you can get up, and people are usually pretty lenient about it.
Nice.
Fresno's changed, Doug. I think you got to give it a chance.
I don't know about that.
It's coming back. It's coming back to the Grapes of Wrath days.
they do need tow truck drivers, apparently.
Yeah. And no one's paying their bills. That still stands. Did you ever go to Bay Area to do shit?
Never to do comedy. I went up to for a music thing, and then saw Jim Norton, but that was about it. Never went up to do comedy outside of Fresno.
And you haven't been doing comedy since you left Fresno?
We went up. I went up one night in L.A. He went up 2 nights in L.A.
I forgot your name already.
Derek.
Derek, stand up. There's another Derek in the room. So in case you want to chime in, you're on mic.
Okay, cool.
So who's funnier? Did you ever do a competition together?
No.
Not even a shitty one? No?
No.
I'm funnier, but he's way better. He's been doing it way longer than I have. I mean, I gotta say I'm funnier. I don't know what else to say. I'm not gonna say he's funnier. But he has been doing it
That's
longer.
gonna cripple the trip a bit. Dude, why'd you have to fucking say that? Are we still talking about this, man? We're in New Orleans. We're on Bourbon Street. Why you keep bringing up that you're funnier on the Stanhope podcast thing? Can't we just have fun?
Well, I'm guessing you think you're funnier. I mean, that would only make sense.
Every comic thinks they're the best.
Yeah.
No. It goes reverse. You start on an incline where you have all this hubris and false self-confidence. You're the William Hung of comedy, and you have no idea. And then at some point, you get where you're good. And you go, fuck, I used to think I was funny. I suck shit. I want to burn all those tapes of me. And I want to kill everyone who ever saw me. And then when you get successful, you go, I don't deserve this. I suck shit. So, yeah, welcome. I'm the ghost of Christmas future.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, good. Chaille's on top of shit. Do you guys even drink beer, or would you prefer something else? Because I'm about to pour a cocktail. So let's do that.
And you asked them a question.
Well, what was my who's funnier? We got that.
No. You asked them, do they drink or do they not drink?
Well, I figured we could do that off air.
All right.
And
So
that's why I was
let's take a
cutting to
break.
it. We're going to take a break. Great news, kids. The much neglected merch page on my much neglected website has been taken over by Ggreg Chaille. So we have tour t-shirts, podcast t-shirts. We have Pop-Off Vodka Presents t-shirts. Get them before we get sued, before we get the cease and desist. And a whole shitload of CDs and DVDs that span a lifetime. A sad, tragic, bloated lifetime of my fucking horrible thoughts and pontifications. So help me get that shit out of my crawl space. Thanks for that. And now, back to the podcast, previously recorded. Does anyone tell you guys are like another comic? Or you I can't imagine you've even gotten that far.
I've never gotten that.
Yeah. it'll be a long time, hopefully, before you do. If you get it in your first few months of comedy that, hey, you're kind of like, that means you're doing that guy. Yeah. When I started, I was so into Dice Clay that I just tried to not sound like Andrew Dice Clay. But I still had some weird affected accent. You're going to suck for a while. We should put this in a time capsule. We should make you do your acts, put them in a time capsule, and just a year from now, watch you listen to yourselves and go, oh, please turn it off. Fucking Clockwork Orange. Eyes peeled open video of you doing comedy after 3 months. No
Two
one was
guys,
good.
one mic.
Some are, you can be better than other people, but you're never good. No one was ever good early in comedy.
For years, right?
I've never met one. You've only been doing this how long? Well, there's a difference. I started at your age. I was 23 when I started. But so there's people like Brendan Walsh got into it after he'd fucked with other things, and he was kind of a, he didn't just go in from I'm telemarketing and I thought of a few funny things. He had been a part of the business. There's actors that go into it and they can. You, not so much.
There's not a quick jump from tow truck driver to comedy?
Being 20. Well, if he grew up in the business on some level, some ethereal level. I don't even know what that fucking word means. I don't know why I keep trying to force it in. All right, let me get this is a fucking email. You guys tell me how to deal with this. Oh, wait, no, that's what I wanted to talk about. I have fucking 2 dumb ideas. I have one idea I've got 0 feedback on that I still, watching all the playoff hockey and playoff basketball, home field advantage, especially in basketball. Like, there's only 5 guys and they're professionals and their home field advantage should not really matter. And my idea, my Billy Ball idea, was to hire psychopaths, sociopaths that don't care about what people think about them. Because that's the only reason the court isn't different. It's a fucking same size court. It's just people are booing you rather than cheering. So if you hired a team of sociopaths, they would not be affected by the reactions from the crowd, and you would completely eliminate home field advantage. And I think that's a fucking brilliant idea. And no one from Major League Sports has gotten back to me about this.
Maybe it's because they're in the season. Maybe they'll get in the off season.
So here's some more ideas to go nowhere that I expect you, the listeners. One is the shame back machine, which is written up here. We're just thinking of that. We're watching a Clippers game and seeing the new owner. Chaille was commenting on how his head was as red as his T-shirt. Just screaming and yelling like a true.
The final 2 minutes, he's jumping up and down.
It's only been not even a year since the whole fucking David Sterling, Daniel Sterling, Donald. Like, everyone forgot about him till I see the Clippers game and went, oh, new owner. Oh, fuck, what happened to that? And we thought, what happened to that cunt was wearing the face shield, his mistress? She was
alleged mistress.
No, it was pretty much, open. Yeah, that she had to
with the welder's mask on.
Yeah, she had the welder's mask face shield to go out in public, and she was going to use this to launch her new like fashion career or some bullshit. Like, those people shouldn't be allowed to disappear that quickly. People who are shameful fucking items, and there should be like the Wayback Machine on the internet. There should be the Shameback Machine, like an app. Like, every day, hey, remember this from 1 year ago today? This fucking asshole, like all the Kato Kalins of the world. Yeah. You don't get to your 15 minutes of fame and get forgotten. People are going to remember you with your fucking Twitter account. And they're going to go, hey, you're a douche. That's one idea. The other idea, comedy Google. Especially for fucking drunks like me and new kids like you. There should be a comedy Google site where once a bit has been put out there, recorded, someone has done the bit. You don't have to Dave Attell a guy and call up in the middle, do a bit like this, because I was thinking about doing a bit like this. I thought you did. You could just Google.
You would default to that. That would be the answer.
The keywords of the bit, and you would see all these bits that have already been written, and you go, fuck, Jesus. goddamn Blaine Capatch did this in Delaware in 1993. Jesus. Google. It's a fucking workable idea. I know every goddamn comic would use it except the ones that are stealing.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's probably some objection to it already.
They'd use it, but they would just be using it for different reasons.
Well, they'd have no excuse.
Yeah.
Because why didn't you comedy Google it, asshole? Then you would
Dude,
know.
hey, comedy Google it. You'll see. I did it in 88.
Exactly.
You're still doing comedy? I went back too far. Clearly.
All right. Those are my ideas. I got to read this email. This just came in, and I did not reply to it yet. Thought I'd run it past the board.
Hold on a second.
Why?
Weren't you going to do Floyd update?
No, I
before all
got
that?
to.
Okay, all right.
Jesus. How dare you humiliate me on the air in front of fucking
I cut this part out. No one hears
young
this part.
up-and-coming comics. They find me to be a role model or at least a free drink. That guy'll take anybody. Let's stop
Hey, can we
there.
dump our septic around here somewhere?
All right, this comes from Wendy Powell. Subject, suicide. I understand that you are coming to Newcastle upon Tyne. The fucking UK towns have...
What's that
I'm
mean?
just coming to Newcastle. I don't know what it's upon. Stop with the lengthy... you're coming to Newcastle as part of your tour. My son, we say with reverence, my son Steve lived in Newcastle. He was an amazing musician, singer, songwriter, son, and brother. He committed suicide using your, quote, advertised method of helium last October. He was on a trip to the U.S. last September when he listened to your show, which apparently contained a sketch about one of your fans who committed suicide using helium. I would like to ask you not to include that sketch in your show in Newcastle. From one human being who has lost their firstborn son to another who has most likely not lost anyone ever. That's where I like, oh, you're fucking... Oh, no? Maybe you should listen to the fucking new album. Please don't use that sketch in Newcastle. It will totally insult the memory of my son. A lot of my son's friends who are apparently really like you will be there. Please don't do it. Thank you in advance, Wendy Powell. And it fucking kills you because, A, I can't do that bit. It's a fucking old bit. It's a 6-year-old bit. Like the first thing you go, fuck you, I'm doing that bit. I'll do that. I'll drag that bit out. But I can't. It's an old bit. And fuck you. Advertised. My advertised. You know what? So that do you think that your kid wasn't going to kill himself until I did that bit and he went, oh shit, I never thought about it till I heard it's as easy as helium. I thought I'd have to buy a gun. That's too hard in the UK. But no, helium. Yeah, good work. You know what? I don't even want to hear the follow-up albums. I want to show what a fan I am to Doug Stanhope. You know who do you know why your son is dead, Wendy? Let's pause. You murdered your son. That's what you did, Wendy. When you had that gumption to decide to fucking throw a child out into the world, you, by default, killed him. It might have been when he was 77 and you were conveniently in your grave while he was fucking scraping tumors out of his colon. It could have been it. Or it could have just been you brought a person into the world that didn't want to fucking be here. You thought with all your love and adoration, oh, no, he's going to be happy. He wasn't fucking happy, and you did it. You did it when you spread your gaping twat and allowed that fucking workman to dump seed in him. You go, I'm going to keep the baby. Yes, and you're going to murder him eventually. You were just hoping it would be conveniently when you were dead instead of, oh, I can't believe my talented musician, son, brother. Yeah, he fucking hated it and it's your fault. You sit and ruminate on that, Wendy in Newcastle upon Tyne, upon your fucking son's grave. Newcastle upon Steve. That's what I call it. Because you decided that making people was in your best interest, and you you turned out wrong. And, I have lost someone. I lost my mother to suicide, which I gladly assisted. Because she murdered me in advance. She made me, at some point, I'm going to die in some crooked way, and it was her fault. So when she decided it's time to go, I was like, yeah, let's speed that up so I don't go before you like a fucking asshole. All right. Well, I can't do that. I can't do that old bit about Clark Adams. I am going to close this podcast on my Clark Adams bit that you refer to, the fan who did kill himself using helium. And he was a fucking fine human being. And you know what? All his friends and kinfolk that I've ever talked to said he would have been proud to hear that bit done in his name. Because he wasn't an asshole like you. And I can't do that bit when I come to Newcastle, the Clark Adams bit, because it's old and I have some integrity left. But if I can write a new bit
between here now and then,
yeah, I'll fucking do it.
You'll do it spite, yeah.
And all your friends of Steve's that like me, I'm not shitting on Steve. I'm shitting on his stupid mother who thought it was a good idea to have him. And I hope you had some good years, Steve, and I'm glad that you listened. And I hope helium worked out, because I always size up my options and I keep a list as the golden years come. Here's a happy email we got. How caught up on have you heard about Floyd? Have you heard?
We listened to Floyd on the drive to Tucson. So
okay.
Yeah, we what's
you haven't
up?
Heard the Floyd the ass cancer party? That's
we heard party.
So
we heard party.
All right. So So I have several nice Floyd emails, so I was just going to read one just so you keep emailing me. This comes from John Alex. Doug, as a 41-year-old colon cancer survivor, parentheses, discovered, removed, chemo in 2013, I found Floyd episodes to be tragic but simultaneously hilarious and cathartic. While cancer is never pleasant, a positive attitude combined with a buttload of narcotics, no pun intended, as well as herbal medications, made it all bearable. Keep putting on the best podcast out there. Truly enjoy every minute of it, John. And then he did, as we started this podcast, sent another email with a correction when he said that his colon cancer discovered, removed. No, the cancer was removed, not his asshole. When we wrap this up, I'll show you some good text messages from Floyd showing me his new scars and bags.
The details.
Yeah.
It's a good friend.
He's fun as shit. And I know that podcast just went out, but don't forget the Floyd colostomy bag contest. Send your decorated colostomy bags right here to 212 Van Dyke Street, Bisbee, Arizona, 85603. And we'll give out. Did we say what the prize was? Did we?
No, we haven't. But June 2nd. June 2nd is the
prize.
It'll be good.
We'll tailor make it for the person. We'll find out who they are, what they're into.
A prize pack.
Yeah.
Like the Showcase Showdown on Price is Right.
Yeah, I could send him one of the fucking suits I have ready to go up on the next Doug Stanhope eBay auction. But if it's some 50-year-old fat mother of six, she doesn't really need a men's leisure suit. So, get those colostomy bags out. Come on. Get your glue gun and your spangles. And
easy to get. You go to any pharmacy supply, you can get colostomy bags.
I hope. All right, and Chaille, hey, that donate here button is still up there on the website if you want to donate to Chaille, who makes this podcast happen, or just buy merch. We have Last Gasp Tour t-shirts. We have 70 of them left. Hey, where's our double X's at out there? Because, the fatties must have let us down on that tour.
No, the 3X's left a long time ago.
3X's. Oh, people are trying to slim down to the 2X. Well, get out there. It's summertime. Get your bikini weight going.
We get
down to 2X.
You eat quinoa now, so you get that 2X. We're doing a special deal where you get the Last Gasp shirt and a signed Deadbeat Hero for $17.
All right. Well, there you have it.
That's it.
And for the Canadian tour, remember the Last Gasp tour, which started somewhere in a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was a while.
It's basically the same tour. You change up the name because you like to have new artwork and new posters. But it's pretty much the same. This is when we started this shit after the last special came out, Beer Hall Putsch. We were playing Canada, and I had to have all new shit that wasn't on that special. So we had that was titled
Halfway
the Tiny Blisters Tour on the poster. And we're calling this the Weeping Lesions Tour in Canada because this is all what became of that tour almost 2 years ago. From the tiny blisters, now this is the weeping lesions that the herpes of that tour became. All those little tiny ideas that we're trying to flesh out, well, it became this. So you might hear some subjects that are similar, but yeah, they have fucking jokes. If I can remember 'em, I'll be studying. But yeah, and that's what we're bringing to the UK is 2 years of working this fucking set out, minus the shit that doesn't work outside this country, which is always a lot.
Plus
So
a
if
new
you-
suicide joke.
Yeah, if you see me in the last year, fuck off. Don't come to these shows. Someone just said, hey, I saw you in Australia. I'm thinking of coming to the, we have just added Manchester. That's, there's no specific date for Newcastle. Don't email me. When I know the date is going out, you'll be the first to know. I don't have towns I'm playing that I'm not telling you about. Well, yeah, hey, let's keep Glasgow secret and spring it on them. Go, boo, Glasgow.
6 people in the audience.
Yeah. Yeah,
Success.
don't worry. We want you to come. So I will tell you as soon as they are solid. And, but yeah, it's going to be, same shit as Australia. So if you're trying to make that easy commute, fuck off. And, that's it. Let's wrap up with the kids here on their magical tour bus and their, blue, how do you like the Negroni? That's,
awesome.
We were off the air. You said, hey, you asked me what I wanted to drink. I want to try one of those Negronis that you talk about. They're bitter and awful. And, Derek, not so much a fan, but he's a beer drinker.
It's not bad. It's very, it's good on the palate. Just, like coffee, just something you put on your tongue and you can drink slow. I like it.
No idea what that Chaille just wrote something down on the board.
Instagram?
Oh, Instagram. I have an Instagram account that I have not thought of since Brian put it on my phone and showed me how to post my first Instagram.
Real Stanhope.
So, yeah, eventually when I have something to take a picture of other than me staring at a fucking computer screen trying to write a dumb book, yeah, when I get that, when I'm like these kids out there in the real world, are you guys on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are at Ben Kaplan with a C.
BL Kaplan.
Oh, sorry. BL Kaplan with a C. And you are?
DRock Haydon. DRockHaydon.
All right, I couldn't. Yeah, say that again if anyone's as drunk as I am.
It's DRock Haydon. DRock. DRock Haydon.
All right.
Haydon.
Haydon, unlike the composer, who is a YN, like Lily Haydon. See, there's a lot of references here, and they'll find you. They'll find you on Twitter. Follow their escapades as they drive as young men across the country, just like a little Beavis and Butthead, a little what's the ones that eat the White Castle ones?
Kumar and...
Yeah, Heidi. I don't know, one of them. Heidi and Kumar. Yeah, explore America.
It's coming up.
All right. You know what? I can't play the Matoid because of this kid that died. So here's the old bit about my fan that killed himself with helium. My friend Goodnight Clark Adams is the name of the track. From Across the Street is the album. So there you go. Enjoy this, Wendy. Murderer.
So we do this show after the party. We had scheduled a show in Vegas because there's like 12 fucking great comics at this party. We never get to work together. Let's schedule a free show at my buddy's bar. We were going out of Vegas airport anyway. We'll take one night. Sounded like a great idea 3 months ahead of time. We weren't calculating in how we would feel after 4 days of fucking brain raping, hallucinogen use and other. So we had this show scheduled and we have to do it, and nobody wants to do this show. Everyone's like just strung out. Comedy? What the fuck is that? I don't know why anything I've ever said elicits laughter. How is comedy a business, you're thinking? Like, people get paid to do this? Are we so bereft as a species of laughter that you will actually pay money? I have like chicks that give me shit about all the whores I've fucked. You really slept with that many prostitutes and you talk about it like you're proud about it? I think that's sad. I think it's sad if you have to pay for it. You just paid me $20 just to chuckle, whore. We're all fucking sad. We're sad on every level. What are you talking about? So this show, it's just one comic after another that doesn't want to be there, and I'm just phoning everything in. Did you ever see that one commercial? I can't believe I say this. It's such an empty fucking thought. I'm awful, and I just phoned in this piece of shit show, but it was a free show, so we're going, fuck it, you get what you pay for. We wrote it off. I forget that a lot of people do go out of their way to see me for fucking free or $20. It doesn't matter to them. And 2 days later, I get a MySpace fucking email. Doug, you might not remember me. I was the blonde woman at your show at Tommy Rocker's in Las Vegas. I had you sign a thing for me, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted you to know that my best friend and your biggest fan, Clark Adams, saw your show as the last thing he did on this earth. On Monday, he took his own life. This guy not only killed himself, he had planned his own suicide, postponed it because he saw I was coming to town, and he never missed my shows. And he killed it, and he going, all I could think is, that show sucked ass. That was the worst show I've done in years. Why didn't you tell me about this? Why didn't you send me an email ahead of time? Hey, I'm going to kill myself on Monday, but I'm going to see you Sunday first. I hope you have a great show. I would have prepared more. I would have sat in a fucking coffee shop and wrote out a set list. I wouldn't pander like comedy clubs do for a fucking birthday party or bachelorettes, but you're going to kill yourself after the show. I'll song and dance a bit for you. Oh, we got a special event over here at table 4. What's your name? Oh, nice to have you out, Clark. I'll do that because I understand that mentality. I'm not the kind of guy that if you tell me you're going to kill yourself, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. What am I going to say? Oh, well, there's so much to live for. No, there isn't. Come on, there's hope. Where? I haven't found any. I think about suicide every fucking day of my life, and I think the only thing stopping me is the lack of a perfect idea. Once I have a perfect idea, like something that's like really funny and disturbing at the same time, like the stuff I look for in my act. It's something that you go, oh, I'm ashamed, I laugh, that will elicit the response when someone tells you, hey, did you hear Doug Stanhope killed himself? Oh, that's really fucked up. No, wait, this is good. You're gonna love this. This is, when I get that idea, I think I'm gonna do it right away because I will be so paranoid that someone will steal it from me. I was in Norway and a dude says, I have your perfect suicide. I can't do Norwegian, so just fucking. I have your perfect suicide idea. He said, you jump off a building with a rope tied to your feet, and you have a thin wire around your neck that stops short of the rope, so it cuts off your head. But you glue your hands to each side of your head. So when you swing, that is fucking brilliant. But it's yours. It's the last way you want to die as a comic is doing someone else's material. Why didn't I think of that myself? You tell me you're going to kill yourself. The only thing I'm going to ask you to pry into your personal business is how you're going to do it. I want to know. I want to know what you came up with. I had to ask the lady who emailed me about Clark Adams. I'm like, I sent a couple, consoling. I'm sorry, I'm sure he's a great guy, and blah, blah, blah. Third email. By the way,
how did Clark pass? And I get a one-word answer back. Helium. You can't just leave me hanging all alone with helium. I need some follow-up to helium, but I can't gouge her for details. I know you're mourning right now, but between sobs, if you get a moment, could you explain graphically how someone kills themselves with fucking helium? But you don't have to ask. I figured out, oh wait, Google, that's right. We have Google for brains. We don't need fucking helium, suicide, search. And it's a bunch of shit. It's evidently a lot more common than I could have ever imagined. It's like a painless asphyxiation. It's like carbon monoxide, only it's not nearly as popular because more people have a car and a garage than they have fucking clown shoes and a balloon tank hanging around in the basement for a gloomy Monday. Goodbye, cruel world. Goodbye, Clark Adams. And good night, Cape Fear. Good night.